me for the third time in a week to tell me they're having the same problem they had for the last 3 weeks, I'm going to get supremely sarcastic with them. And that's going to destroy your corporate reputation. So just don't. Now, I might have got paid really well to do it, but frankly, I don't need the job of being a manager. I will not do a good job of being a manager. I will do a good job of being a computer programmer. So pay me to do what I'm good at. You kind of see it in, say, Star Trek. James Kirk was the best captain the Federation ever had at that time. Then they promoted him to Admiral. He sucked as an Admiral. So when he misbehaved one too many times, they demoted him back to Starship Captain with the explanation of, it's the job you're best at. Yes. Your salary, or not that the Federation supposedly has salary, but your salary may not be as good being a Starship Captain as it is being a Starfleet Admiral, but you're good at it, you enjoy it, you're going to do your best at it. If you hate the work, you're not going to put your whole effort into it. So, and even when you even if you do take a lower job, you will generally be rewarded far more because people see how good you are. I would never get a bonus as a manager. I have received numerous bonuses as a programmer because people see what a good job I do and reward me for it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, yeah, my BS tolerance is very low, so again, I don't suffer fools at all. And yeah, I'm happy to tell people what needs to be done. I can mentor people, but I'm not a good manager. What usually happens is I tell people what needs to be done while I do the stuff. I will give people a job I think they can do while I do the job, the more complicated jobs that need to get done. And eventually, there was one guy I worked with. He needed to write a program that did a thing. So I explained what he needed to do. And he gave it to me and it didn't work at all. Even the function keys on the screen, I had to crash the program to get out of it because the function keys didn't work. And it's sort of, did you not test this? So I told him all the bits that weren't working, and he went back in and he got at least the function keys were working. But a load of the rest of it wasn't working. And it's like, okay, you haven't done this bit, you haven't done that bit. When it came back to me for the 5th time, I just said, yeah, fine, it's done. Go and get some work off somebody else, because he was just assigned to me temporarily to do that one task. And then, as soon as I'd finished the tasks I needed to get complete, I took the time out to actually make his thing work as it was expected to work. So, it's sort of, I make a lousy leader because I expect you to do what needs to be done, and when you don't do it and you can't even see the problem, I just get frustrated and I have to go, I take over and I'll do it myself, which means having you on my team is completely pointless because I end up being a team of me and doing all of it. Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that. I mean, I've had some people assigned to me for tasks and it's just a case of, yes, okay, you need to do this, and it comes back and it's sort of, oh wow, okay, thank you. you know, do I have something else for you to do type of thing. But it's wrong way. That way. There you go. Ooh. Unfortunately, this is the 800. It's not going to have the guts to be able to push this up the hill here. Although I'm not too upset with how that's worked out. The lime spread is finished, or was empty, not sure which. I'll get this field cleared. Might have enough capacity here to finish off this field. How's the time? The time is now 4:15. Although, what is it? It's May 1, so we should have sunlight through to 6, although I do notice that we have rain on the horizon. Although that's probably the hours of darkness or early morning. Haven't checked the weather report yet. Okay. 28,000. So yeah, for the near term on this farm, we are going to need to get ourselves a maize chopper and a harvester. Maize chopper is going to be about 100,000 and can go on our Fendt. Fortunately, we can't get the biggest one. The Fendt doesn't have the horsepower for it, but it's got the horsepower to run the second biggest Kemper maize chopper. So I need to buy one of those. Might need to take out a loan, although I've already got a loan because we bought. Unfortunately, I bought things and then forage harvester came up for half price, and it's like, oh, I need a forage harvester for later this year, so that's going to be this is probably the best time for me to buy one type of thing. So I had to take out £100,000 loan for that, but it does mean it's on the roster. And then what else do we have? We have I have a folding grain header which came up on the sale. It's not as big as most of the harvesters I'm looking at can run, but it's folding, and given the entrances to these fields and how narrow that is, the ability to drive the map with the header attached and then unfolding it when you get into the field, I think that's a benefit over having a fixed size draper and then having to try and haul it through the gap and maneuver it onto the field without destroying the crop. So that was again 50% off, so I bought that. I want to find a folding corn header as well. I think there are some. But folding cereal header, folding corn header, I think is going to work for this map. even if it's going to take me longer to do the harvest, a lot of the harvest time is taken up with haulage. So if I can, if I've got a big tank on the harvester and I don't have to be driving back to the yard to empty the cart, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much how many times I have to drive up and down the field. Why didn't I turn that? That was kind of dumb. Okay. Not paying attention. Okay, I think I need to tip this and check the weather. Then we have the small field to collect. If we've got everything collected, then it's all sitting in the bunker, and we can worry about okay, go. Power, not power. This thing has no power. Close enough, go. So yeah, we can compact out the moisture later. This might not get compacted until day 2, May 2nd, May 2. Oh, don't go too far. Yes, indeed. Nice. So we'll jump out and we'll go inspect our thing. So it says 847, which is probably right. So we've done 9 loads so far. That is woefully short on what we got in November. Meanwhile, the weather says... Oh, I was right. It's going to be 9-10 o'clock it starts raining. Then there's going to be bright sunshine from 11 through midnight. I find that dubious, but okay. Let's get back in there. I'm going to turn that off and we'll go find the Renault. There we are. And we still have 2,000 litres left. Like, as I said, that's when you turn, the trailer helps you by swinging wide and obviously missing bits like this bit right in front of us. So once this bit's done, I can go and empty the line and we're done with the Renault for now. I'm not sure when darkness falls. I would like to have all of the grass collected by nightfall. I can now that we've got all the fields lined as well, or all the fields that I want to have lined as well. I think we're now good. Planting tomorrow, May 2, and then maybe look for contracts on May 3. Obviously, with me playing Railroader most of yesterday, free time, I did not do any farming, which kind of ideally I would like to have done. Normally I'll spend my Sundays getting the farm to a point where the next session will be something a little bit different, or a little bit the same in our case, because pretty much everything we do is cutting grass or chopping maize or making silage or doing contracts. But yeah, the whole, I don't want to spend an entire session just cutting grass, collecting grass, rolling silage bunker. So if I can roll a silage bunker off camera, everybody's seen everybody rolling silage in a bunker, so you don't need to spend 3 hours doing that. Typically it takes about 3 hours to roll a bunker of 1 million litres, especially since initially you're getting stuck. As it gets flatter it gets easier, but yeah, it's just a pain. So if I don't have to do it on camera, I won't, because I'll get bored, you'll get bored, and I like to have at least something to do. And I will drop the lime there. Nice. So that's all the work with the cheap tractor. I'll save maintenance on at least this load of equipment until next time we use it, which means the Renault might be maintained fairly soon, since anything under 190 horsepower, it's the go-to tractor. Although if I get a bigger lime spreader, it might not be able to cope with it. Okay. Put the lime spreader back in the corner. The other nice thing about the Bredel is it does have a lid, a cover, so you can leave it outside technically. This thing, not so much. Alrighty, that's there. Pull forward a bit. And that tractor has 41 hours on it. Okay. Back to that. Yeah. No. Not that one, not that one. Oh, actually, I could take the fancy Deutz out and spray that other field, but I think right now we're good. Okay, this is another tool that is going to be a little bit tricky to maneuver around. Part of the problem is the wheels are half distance to the back of the planter, and also that means as I'm turning I've got the back and the middle to worry about. Okay, well, we made it that far. But yeah, it makes it a little bit unwieldy. Let's unfold that while we set up. Course. 12 meters wide. This is going to be awesome. I want round corner, center, 3 headlands. I probably only need 2. We're going to start work on the center. Yes. Do that, do that, do that, do that. And oh, well, we're actually starting right here. It's nice. Don't think I needed to have filled up with diesel for this. So we will let that do its thing. Meanwhile, back on the 800. Oh, we're nearly out of silage additive. That's fine. I was looking at that thinking we're nearly out of silage additive, but I don't think that's probably about a full 50,000 litres of grass picked up levels of silage additive needed, and I don't think this field has 50,000 litres on it. I really can't explain why I got 1.3 million litres of grass silage in November and I'm only getting 900,000 this time out. Plus the silage isn't going to be as valuable because best selling time is December. But kind of weird. Selling silage, I'm probably going to do it in phases, so I can do a little bit of silage sold and lots of other things per stream, so I'm not just delivering silage all day, which can happen because when I need a bunker emptied, I need a bunker emptied. We've got about 3 months before, and actually I was going to say we've got about 3 months to empty it. No, I've got 2 silage bunkers, so until it's time to make with the corn silage, I don't have to empty the silage bunker before the next cut. So we'll just progressively sell throughout the year. If there are any great demands, that will be awesome. I missed bits. I didn't go back and get the bits in the middle. Oh. Put the mower away now. Hand cleaned it. Not going to get it out just for a couple of straggly bits of grass, especially not because we aim to put buildings on this field. Yes, I am having a lot of fun with Railroader. And buying locomotives that I regret sometimes. I kept the 2 starter locomotives. The Mogul is brilliant for jobs it's designed to do. It's just a brilliant locomotive. The 10-wheeler is a little bit short-ranged, but I think it makes for a better freight locomotive than the Mogul. I know a lot of people are playing the Mogul is their freight train, and quite frankly I'm not seeing it. I can put the Mogul on the passenger cut train and just run passengers backwards and forwards, and every so often you get back to wherever it is and you fill it up with water. But the 10-wheeler needs frequent refills of coal and water, so it just makes sense to use it as a freight locomotive. You pick up the freight in the morning, you fill up with coal and water, you run down the line, and you do all the drop-offs, and by the time you get back to the starting point, you need to refuel it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I did make a mistake buying the switcher for running logs, and frankly that's a bad idea, because the switcher is very thirsty if you run long haulage at high speed. It needs to be close to a yard. I was thinking, at the point I'm at, I was thinking I'll get the Atlantic to run the passenger train, and I'll put the Mogul on the logging trains, because the Mogul needs, the Mogul's better suited for distance and stuff that the Switcher isn't. But I'm going to keep the Switcher, and I'm going to put that down at Bryson. And then the 10-wheeler I'm kind of using as a switcher at Whittier, is it? I can't remember. Because he's got enough to run down to Ella and do all of the drop-offs round the Whittier yard. Where am I going? Why am I going this way? Why am I driving into a hedge? Oh, I've got myself really cooked there. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Let's drive forward. Make some distance. There we are. But I've got a Constellation. Yes. And that's the thing I liked about the Mogul. The Mogul holds a lot of coal and water, and it's not a very thirsty locomotive, which is why it's good for what it does. The 10-wheeler is small wheeled, so it's a mixed traffic locomotive. It's not passenger locomotive, and I wouldn't put it on the passenger work because it needs coal and water so frequently. I can't just leave it there. But I did get a Constellation, and that doesn't hold. That's very thirsty. The early Constellation that you can get, but